Hey everybody, I'm Amin B. I'm an admin at Amin Trading Group, and last night during class we talked about credit spreads and how to help new members actually learn and how to make the trades. I took two examples. I took the S&P 500 ETF, otherwise known as SPY, and then I also gave an example for Roku, and this is Roku. This is S&P 500 ETF, SPY, and then I talked about some of the trades that I made in the week. To get started, I'm just going to talk to you guys about the four different trades that I made. Number one was a call credit spread for SPY, strikes 396, 397, expiration date 2/17. My average cost was 0.09, otherwise known as 9%, and I let that expire, which is 100%. Number two, another call credit spread. This one was for strikes 398, 399. Expiration date was 2/17, and average cost for this was 0.06, otherwise known as 6%. And I let that expire, and that was 100%. The third one was a call credit spread for SPY. The expiration date was 2/17, and the strike was 398, 397, and my average cost for this one was 0.04. I got into this trade around 3:30ish. That's why my average cost was so low. But I let that expire and I got 100% return on that. And then my last trade was a Roku trade, and I got into a Roku put credit spread um, for strikes 397.5, 395, and then expiration date is for this Friday, otherwise 2/19. And my average cost was 23 cents. And currently, as of today, I'm expecting it to be up around 70, 80% based on the theta. And then the fact that Roku after hours is up almost $5.78, which is about 1.26%. But first of all, just talking about the basics, there's two types of credit spreads. We have a call credit spread, and then we also have a put credit spread. So a call credit spread means you're bearish on a stock and you want the stock to go down. And then a put credit spread is that you're bullish on the stock and that you want the stock to go up. So, to go about making a spread, first of all, you got to click on the trade SPY options, or for Roku, it's going to say trade Roku options. So we're going to do SPY first. So click on trade SPY options, and then it's going to bring you to the panel. SPY trades 3 times a week. It's the only stock in the world that has 3 expiration dates in a given week. Any other stock, like let's take for example Roku, they only have 1 expiration date per week, and that's usually on a Friday. So it's every 7 days. So the next one for this week is the 19th. The next one after that is the 26th. But for SPY, next one is the 19th, which is Friday. The one after that is on the 22nd, which is on Monday, and then the 24th is Wednesday, and then the 26th is Friday. So once again, SPY is the only stock that trades 3 times a week. All right, so uh, to go about doing a call credit spread, otherwise known as being bearish on a stock, you have to buy and sell at the same time. So let's take for example, by the way, so I'm making this video at 6:59 a.m. So these prices don't reflect the actual trading day for today. Today is a Thursday, and the data hasn't come in yet and burned off some of the premiums. So these prices won't reflect what is going to actually show at market open. So just to give an example, let's say we're looking at 397, 396, accounting for the fact that SPY's at the high, otherwise known as 52-week high, is around 394.20. Let's say we're not expecting SPY to go anywhere over 394.20. So, you're placing a fairly safe spread, let's say 396, 397. So what you do is you buy and sell at the same time. Make sure you have it set on calls. So what you do is look at the 2 strikes. We have the 396, 397. Look at the premiums. So 25 versus 40. You buy the 25, you sell the 40. And when you do that, at the top right, it's going to say call credit spread. If it says anything else, if it says call debit spread or a long put, then you messed up somewhere and you might want to go back and fix it. So it should always say call credit spread up here. So looking at this, it's giving us the two strikes that we did. It's telling us that we bought the 397 call, and at the same time we sold the 396 call. And it's telling us our total credit is 15.15. You get that number. That number is the difference between the premium. So $40 minus 25 is 15. So we're gonna click continue. Let's say, for example, we do one spread, right? So we click on one, and then it automatically configures to minimum credit is $15. So what this is telling you is, once again, it's not telling you how much collateral that you're putting up. It only tells you how much minimum credit that you're receiving. So to calculate the collateral, what you have to do is you look at the strikes. We have the 397, 396. So you do 397 minus 396, which is $1, multiply it by 100, and the collateral would be $100 for one contract. So what this is telling us is, for every $100 that you're giving up to Robinhood, they'll give you $15 right away. So the good thing about a credit spread is that when you give them the collateral, they'll give you whatever the minimum credit is into your buying power right away. So that $15, if I were to make that trade now, I would get that $15 into my buying power right away. And so, even just talking about like the percentages, you're giving them $100 and you're getting back $15, and that's a 15% return. It might not look like a whole lot of money when you only have $100 put in, but if you have, let's say, for example, $1,000 that you put into spreads, that would be about 10 contracts, and 10 contracts is $1,000 collateral, but the minimum credit is 150. And then let's say, for example, you put in 100 contracts, that is about $10,000. Otherwise, the minimum credit is $1,500, right? So let's say, you have a fairly small account, you're working with $500, and, out of the $500, you want to do at least $300 for collateral. So we would do 3 contracts, which is about 3 contracts is about $300 collateral, and then otherwise you would get $45 of minimum credit. So if I were to confirm and review this order and send it through, what initially happens is, $300 out of your buying power goes to Robinhood as collateral, and that $45 is deposited into your buying power right away. And then what like, to understand where you want to go and how you can make profit out of this is, on the expiration date, at 4 p.m. you want to make sure that SPY ends up trading below 396. If SPY trades at any price below 396, you're going to get your collateral back, whatever you put in, and on top of that you get to keep your minimum credit. If you, for example, want to sell out at a profit, let's say, for example, Friday morning comes around, the 19th, the difference between the premiums is showing, maybe it's showing, let's say, $10 per contract, right? When it's $10 per contract and you have 3 contracts, the minimum credit now is $30. So what that means is, if you want to sell out, you would have to give them $30 back to Robinhood, and $45 is what you got initially into your buying power, and then you gave them back $30. So that's a $15 profit, and that's not bad. You can, if you're feeling pretty, let's say you're thinking on Friday morning SPY is going to be very, very bullish, and you're expecting SPY to beat the 52-week high, which is 394.20. And you're expecting SPY to climb up to 396, and you don't want to risk losing your collateral. Yeah, obviously you can sell out anytime, but I and my friend Brandon, we like to keep our spreads till the actual expiration date, so we get 100% of the minimum credit and all of our collateral back. So that's how you do a spread. I'll show you an example of a put credit spread real quick. So it's the same scenario. So we're just gonna click on put, change this to buy real quick, and then click on the share price. The current share price of SPY is trading at $391 as of this morning. So let's say, for example, we want to do the 385, the 386 put credit spread. So when you do a put credit spread, you're telling Robinhood, or what your goal is, you want SPY to go up. You're bullish on the stock. So if we're doing the 386, 385, we look at the premiums. This one's showing 35, this one is showing 29. So you buy this one, the 29, and then you sell the more expensive one, which is 35. And when you do that, it's going to say put credit spread. And once again, if it doesn't say put credit spread, then you messed up in the buy and sell, or maybe you still have it in calls or whatever. But just make sure it says that and confirm it. And then once again, it's going to tell us what we bought, the 385 put, and then what we sold, which was a 386 put, and then our total credit is 0.06. That 0.06 comes from 35 minus 29, which is about 6, so 0.06. And then when we continue, I'm going to just change this to one contract. So once again, it doesn't tell us our collateral, so we have to calculate that. And when we do that, you have to do 386 minus 385, which is $1. Multiply that by 100, and you get $100 collateral. And then for every $100 that you give up to Robinhood per contract, you get a minimum credit of $7. And that $7 doesn't seem like a whole lot, but that's a 7% return. And for $100, that's $7. For $1,000, that would be $70. And then for $10,000, that would be about $700. So you just got to think in percentages, and that's how I do it. And I would just recommend you do it the same way too. And let's say you have, once again, you want to buy 3 contracts, right? So you do 3 contracts, and your minimum credit is $21 at an average cost of 7, or 3 contracts, limit price is 7. Currently, the limit price is showing about 6. 29 minus 35 is 6, so you're going to have to change it, 0.06. And then when you do that, your minimum credit should show $18. So for every $300 collateral that you're putting up, you'll get $18 back. And what happens is when you review this order and send it through, you'll get $18 into your buying power right away. And remember, I said you want the difference between these two numbers to go as closest to 0 as possible. So you get to keep more of the minimum credit, So, for one contract, if it's showing us $6, and let's say Friday morning, the difference between these two numbers is showing us $2. Now, if you want to sell out in Friday morning at that price, you have to give them $2 back from your buying power to Robinhood. So when you do that, $6 is what you got initially, and then you gave them back $2. So you made a profit of $4. And, even to understand the expiration date situation, this is a put credit spread. So what you're telling Robinhood is you want the share price of SPY to trade above 386, any price above 386 at the expiration date at 4 p.m. on February the 19th, So let's say at 4 p.m. on the 19th on Friday, SPY is trading at 389 and it closes at the market price at 389. Then you get 100% of your collateral back, and then you also get to keep the minimum credit. But in this very bearish market, Brandon and I typically do a bunch of call credit spreads. I feel like SPY has more room to fall downside than it has to go upside. There's been days that SPY has fallen $8-10 in a single day, where I haven't seen SPY go up $8-10 even at the high like this. So typically you'll see me doing a bunch of call credit spreads, on Tuesday, I posted 3 different ones, and all of them ended up being 100%. So that was good. And then now I'm going to talk to you about Roku options. So what I did was I didn't do Roku call credit spreads. I actually did the put credit spread. So I'm very bullish on the stock. Roku actually has their earnings this week. So Roku currently is trading for, let's say, go down. Roku's trading for 455 after hours. And then, when we look at the earnings, the Q2 fiscal year 20, Q3 fiscal year 20, they've just killed their earnings, because of COVID. And I'm expecting very strong earnings for Roku too, for Q4. So that's why, when a company has really good earnings, the stock potentially has room to go up. And that's why I did call credit spreads. So no, not call credit spreads. I did put credit spreads on Roku. So I did scroll down, expiration date the 19th, change it to puts. I did see, you can already see them. So I did the 397.5 and then I did the 395. So what you do is, looking at the two strikes, looking at the premiums, you buy the lower one, 350, you go to sell, you sell the higher one, 383. So when you do that, it's going to say put credit spread at the top right, continue, and then let's say we want to do one contract, right? Once again, it doesn't tell us the collateral. So what we have to do is calculate it ourselves. 397.5 minus 395 is 2.5. 2.5 times 100 is $250. So for every $250 that I'm giving up, I'm making $33. And when you do, let's say, if you want to just get the percentage, you do 33 divided by 250, which is about a 13% return. And that's not bad, 13% just from holding the spread. And what I'm initially telling Robinhood is at 4 p.m. expiring February the 19th, I'm expecting Roku to be trading above the share price of 397.5. So any price above 397.5 at 4 p.m., if it expires, I get to keep my collateral, which is $250 per contract. And on top of that, I get to keep my minimum credit, which is $33 per contract. And, I'm very bullish on the stock. So that's why I did this put credit spread. And that's about it. If you have any questions, obviously reach out to me in the Discord chat, but thank you for joining.